Hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and see quantities for a fiend. Save the dreams for a king. This is H-Town, home of the lean. Astros is the team and we rock it. Texans for life, you can't stop it. Together like brothers and Bex and Jets. All the time we be pubbing on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks. Hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and see quantities for a fiend. Save the dreams for a king. This is H-Town, home of the lean. Astros is the team and we rock it. Texans for life, you can't stop it. Together like brothers and Bex and Jets.
What's going on, sports fans? LJ from H-Town. Gonna hit y'all with a quick video before these NBA games kick off today. I wanted to get some props in for y'all to get y'all to Christmas, which will be Sunday. Give y'all some look aheads to see how we can make some money on some key players with some matchups coming up this week. So we're gonna get right to it, man. Let's get some money. Don't want to waste y'all time. I know y'all looking at different shows, trying to get your bets in before it's 6 o'clock tip-off. So let's start off, man. We're going to start off with the team that allows the most points. And we do know, if y'all follow the NBA, that would be the San Antonio Spurs, allowing 119 points. At home, they're allowing 119 points. On the road, they're allowing 119 points. So they were off tonight, but tomorrow they have the New Orleans Pelicans. And Zion Williams is the leading scorer on that team, averaging 28 points in his last 5 games. He's had 30 plus 5 out of his last 9 games, 60% field goal percentage or more, 6 of those games. So we're going to be looking at Zion points tomorrow night versus the Spurs. Now, the Spurs also have the Magic coming up on Friday, and their leading scorer is Paolo Banchero. And he's averaging 22 points in his last 5 games. So we'll be looking for his points Friday night versus the Spurs. And not to mention, he's averaging 6 attempts from the 3-point line his last 5 games. So he's getting the attempts, but it's all about him making them. So we can look at a little sprinkle there just to see if he'll be potential to hit his 3-point prop. I don't know where it is. I don't take his 3-point prop. But I will be looking at it Friday night, considering he's averaging 6 attempts his last 5 games. So just a sneaky look. But we will be on his points. He's averaging 22 over his last 5 games. Now, let's move over to the rebounds. The Charlotte Hornets allows the most rebounds in the NBA. They're in the last 3 games, they're allowing 3rd most. On the season, they're allowing the 2nd most. At home, they're allowing the most, which is 1st, and on the road, they're allowing the 4th most. And I went through their schedule. They have the Clippers tonight. We don't know if Zubac is going to be ruled in, but if Zubac plays, definitely take his prop tonight, but we're not for sure if he's going to be ruled in. And also, they have the Lakers coming up too, which is Friday, I believe, and Anthony Davis is out of the lineup. So both teams' leading rebounders are potentially going to be out of the lineup in these matchups. So there's no need for us to even attempt to look at the prop right now. We know Anthony Davis is not going to come back in the game. Now, LeBron James is the 2nd leading rebounder on that team, I believe, and he's usually day-to-day as well. So we don't know if he's going to be in. But for future reference, the Charlotte Hornets do give up the most rebounds in the NBA. We can look at Oklahoma City, too. They give up the most to the center position as well. But I'm going to stick to Charlotte because Charlotte has given up 23 rebounds to Sabonis, 27 rebounds to Jokic, 19 rebounds to Jalen Duran, and 12 rebounds to Embiid the last 4 out of the last 5 games. So looking at Charlotte in the future, coming up, rebounds from the opposing team, especially the center position. So we can move on from there. Let's go to the assists, which we're back on the San Antonio Spurs, who allows the most assists in the league at 27. They allow the 2nd most assists on the road and the 3rd most assists at home. Now, they are playing San Antonio allows the most, but no player in the top 20 in assists. So let's check to see who they play. They have Minnesota at home, I believe. No, Minnesota is the 2nd in the league at giving up assists. They allow the most at home and the 3rd most on the league. Now, they have Dallas coming up, and they have Luka tonight. And he's averaging 8.5 assists. So he did get ejected in the last game they played. So we may be looking at Luka's assists tonight, over 8.5. So that may be a sneaky look. And they also have Boston coming up on the road. And Marcus Smart is averaging 7 assists. But he just got ruled out today. So we don't know if he's going to play. But for future reference, the Minnesota Timberwolves allowed the most steals at home. They allowed the most assists at home at 28. So be looking for them. Now, let's jump to Chicago, who gives up the most assists on the road. And they play Atlanta tonight. So I've already put my bet in. Trae Young, over 10.5 assists. He cashed it last game, and I do believe he's going to cash it this game because Trae Young averages 10.5 assists at home on the season. He's averaging 13 assists his last 4 games. So he's been on a tear. So but let's look for Trae Young tonight. Assists over 10.5 at home versus Chicago, who gives up the most assists on the road. Now, Chicago is going to New York on Friday. And we have Jalen Brunson, who's only averaging 6 assists on the season. So probably won't be looking at his prop. You know, he hasn't hit 7 or 8, I don't think, in the last couple of games. So we may stay off of that one. But let's move to my Rockets, who allows 8 assists a game. And they have Orlando tonight. Jalen Suggs is out of the lineup, so we're going to have Markelle Fultz at the point guard position tonight. Now, I'm not going to take Markelle Fultz assist tonight versus the Rockets, but we will talk about him in a minute on another prop. But Rockets have the Magic coming up tonight, and they have Dallas on Friday, which brings us back to Luka, who averages 8 assists a game. So I will be on Luka's assist prop Friday night versus the Rockets, and that will be here in Houston, and I will be at that game. So, watching Dallas live versus the Rockets, Luka Doncic assists over 8.5. We're looking at his assist prop Friday night versus the Rockets. Now, let's move over to the steals, what I just mentioned about Markelle Fultz. The Houston Rockets allow 9 steals a game, which is the most in the NBA. And I put this trend out. I've told people about this trend. I've tweeted this trend out every single game. But the last game versus San Antonio, this didn't hit. But I'm not going to be weary. I'm going to jump back on it. 2+ steals to the guard position the Rockets have allowed in every single game except the last game versus San Antonio. We was on Vassell's prop, but he didn't hit it. He only had 1. But we're not going to be discouraged. We're going back to the well. So tonight, Markelle Fultz, over 2.5 assists is the play tonight because he's averaging steals. I'm sorry, not assists. 2.5 steals because he's averaging 2.5 steals his last 4 games in that lineup. And we just mentioned Jalen Suggs is out, so Markelle Fultz is going to get the minutes. He should cash that 2.5 steals tonight, since the Rockets allow the most turnovers in the league, and they're allowing 9 steals a game. So, Markelle Fultz tonight, and on Friday, Luka. But Luka's only had 4 steals total in his last 5 games, so I'm going to stay off of that one. I'm going to put out another video after Christmas to get some more matchups, to get y'all some more looks. But far as this week coming up to Sunday, we're only on Markelle Fultz tonight for the steals versus the Rockets. Now, the Lakers allow 10 steals on the road. And Chris Paul had 2. Corey Joseph had 2. DeAndre Milton for the Sixers. He had 7. And Siakam had 2. And Donovan Mitchell had 4. That's the Lakers' last 5 road games. They've given up those many steals to those guard positions. Siakam's not a guard, but OG, he had 1, I believe. But you can look at his steals too, because he had 2. But on the other side, we're going to stick to the Lakers allowing 10 steals on the road. So they play the Kings tonight, which does not have a player in the top 20 in steals. So we're not looking at anything on that one. And they have Dallas on the road Christmas Day. And I just mentioned Luka has not been hitting his steals props. So, but for future reference with the Lakers, they allow 10 steals on the road against the opponent. So let's get to the blocks. Detroit allows the most blocks in the NBA. And Charlotte. So we're going to do Charlotte and Detroit. Detroit is playing the 76ers tonight. Embiid, he's had 4 blocks his last 4 games. So I'm going to stay off of that one. Not going to take it. And they have the Hawks coming up on Friday. And Capella's out of that lineup. So we got to look at John Collins because he's had a block 6 out of his last 7 games. So depends on what he does tonight versus the Bulls. We can look at John Collins Friday night block prop versus Detroit. Now, let's jump to Charlotte, who I just mentioned, playing the Clippers and they're playing the Lakers. These next 2 games on the road before Christmas. Zubac, Anthony Davis. We don't know if Zubac's going to be in the lineup, so we can't look at it. And, of course, Anthony Davis is out of the lineup. But for future reference, Detroit and Charlotte allows the most blocks in the league to the opponent. Now, I'm going to give y'all some futures, give y'all some look-aheads, because tonight we got Jordan Poole going up against the Nets. Now, I have been on this trend to where Steph Curry's out of the lineup. So Jordan Poole is the second leading scorer on that team. He's averaging 27 points in his last 5 games, averaging 26 this month of December. So we can look at Jordan Poole's points tonight. I think they have it at 27 and a half, so he's going to have to hit 28. I had it last night at 26 and a half. He only had 26. So let's see if he gets that prop tonight. I'm going to be on it again tonight. I'm going back to the well. Jordan Poole over 27.5 of the points tonight versus the Nets because I'm going to continue to take the prop as long as Steph Curry is out of that lineup because he is the second leading scorer on that team. Man, Stoney, what up, my guy? You know what I'm doing. Giving y'all some props, trying to get this money. You know what I'm saying? So glad you can join me, my friend. He's always in the building. So let's get back to it, man. Let's get to the rebounds. Twin Towers on the Knicks, man. We got Julius Randle and we got Mitchell Robinson. Julius Randle is averaging 12 rebounds his last 5 games, averaging 11 in this month of December. Mitchell Robinson's averaging 10 rebounds his last 5 games, averaging 10 rebounds this month of December. They're playing Toronto tonight. Now, I've already took both of their props tonight because I do believe both of them are going to cash, and I'm going to continue to stay on those props, especially Mitchell Robinson, because he's a beast on the boards. Julius Randle is too, but Julius Randle looks to score a lot as well. He's been hitting his points and rebounds for about a week or so, but I trust Julius Randle's points to hit more than I can consistently hit his rebounds. Not to say he won't hit it, but I just like to look at his points, and I would take Mitchell Robinson's rebounds, considering Mitchell Robinson is an offensive rebound machine, and Julius Randle usually just cleans up the boards on the defensive side of the ball. But both of them probably are good money to take their rebound props. So look at those Twin Towers, future props, Julius Randle rebounds, Mitchell Robinson rebounds, because they're both are averaging double digits in the last 5 games, averaging double-digit rebounds this month. Let's go to the assists. We've all been on Killian Hayes for Detroit. He's averaging 7 assists his last 5 games, averaging 7 in this month. But I was going through the game log, and he's been kind of inconsistent when he's hitting that. Sometimes he'll hit it. Other nights he won't. But let's go through it right quick just to give y'all an example of what I'm talking about. And the fact that Cade Cunningham is out of that lineup, he's not coming back. He's going to be continuing to be the starting with Jalen Ivey. I'm sorry, but Killian Hayes, his assists, he had 5 the last game, but it was at 6. He didn't hit it. He had 8 before that. He had 4 He had 8, he had 9, he had 5. So he's kind of up and down every game. So you got to really pick and choose when you want to take his assist prop. Now, I'm not going to be weary because usually it's set at 6.5, so he has to get 7. Now, if they lower it to maybe 5.5 to where he has to get 6, that's going to be a bet on if he's at 6 over 5.5. But if it's over 6.5, he has to get 7. I kind of lay off because he's not consistent enough to keep hitting that 7 and 8 assists. But we can continue to keep looking at him in certain situations because Cade Cunningham is out of that lineup. So he's going to continue to get the minutes. He's going to continue to get those looks. And he should be bet on. But we'll just pick and choose when we need to in certain situations. But we need to jump on Nikola Jokic for Denver. Averaging 10.5 assists his last 5 games, averaging 10 assists for this month of December. And I do believe that he's had a triple-double his last 2 games. So Jokic has been balling. So let's go through his lineup right quick and see what his assists has been looking like because he does everything for that team, as we already know. With his assists, he's had 13, 10, 8, 8, 14, 9. So he's had double-digit assists 3 out of his last 5 games. So we can continue to ride Jokic, and let's hope that he keeps hitting that prop. I don't know where they set it at because I usually just take his PRA, which has been hitting. But if they have it at 9.5, 10.5, let's jump on it because he's going to continue to get the looks because he does everything. He's actually the point guard for that team at the center position. So we're going to keep looking at Jokic, assist prop, going into the rest of this month. Now, I just mentioned Trae Young, averaging 11 assists at home. 4 of his next 5 games at the end of this month are all home games. So, Trae Young should be a bet on for the rest of this month. As long as he's at home, take his assist prop over. I took it tonight versus the Bulls, and I'm going to continue to keep taking it as long as he's at home because he's hitting that 10.5 assist prop every single game at home. So we're going to ride Trae Young assists. We're going to ride Jokic assists, those 2 for the rest of this month, especially when they are at home. Well, like I said, Jokic, you could probably take it either home or road, but Trae Young assists at home. Let's go to the steals because we already know that OG Anunoby is back in the lineup for Toronto, and he's going to cash that 2+ steals probably every single game because he's had 2+ steals 5 out of his last 6 games. And like I said, he's leading the league in steals at home. So we're going to continue to ride OG, 2+ steals. I didn't take it tonight, though, because I want to see if he can get it versus the Sixers. Not saying that he can't, but let's just watch and see. But for future reference, we're going to keep riding OG Anunoby 2+ steals because he's leading the league in steals and at home at 2+. Now, let's jump to Anthony Edwards. 2+ steals now of his last 11 games. And I took his 2+ steals tonight versus Dallas. He had 1 the last time they played Dallas, which was 2 days ago. Now it's on the back. They're playing them again today. I'm going to take the 2+ steals today because I do believe he's going to be aggressive, and he's been cashing it 9 out of the last 11 games. So I'm trusting that he's going to cash that 2+ steals tonight versus Dallas. And Kevin Porter Jr. for the Rockets, 2+ steals 6 out of his last 9 games. He didn't get it I think he did get it last game, 2+ steals. I do believe that. But we're going to continue to keep riding him for the rest of this month because he's been very aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. And that's another player that does everything for that team. And Kevin Porter Jr. hogs the ball. I'm going to tell you, he's going to try to score. He's going to try to look every situation to score. The only time he passes the ball is when he gets double teamed. He was in foul trouble against the Spurs the last game, so he wasn't on the floor a lot. I took his PRA, but I didn't cash it because he wasn't on the floor. He had 3 fouls, I believe, in the first half. Like in the second quarter, he had 3. No, I think he had 4 fouls before halftime. So he had to sit. So that took away from all his potential props and his statistics. So let's jump back on him tonight versus Orlando. 2+ steals. I think it's plus money as well. I do believe. I don't know for sure, but I took it tonight, 2+ steals, and we're going to continue to keep riding for the rest of the month, considering he's had 2+ steals 6 out of his last 9 games. Now, let's go to the blocks. And there's only 2 people that y'all should be looking at when it comes to hitting their blocks prop. Brook Lopez is averaging 3 blocks on the season. 5 out of his last 9 games, he's had 3 blocks. I took his 2+ blocks tonight versus Cleveland, considering the history he has playing Jared Allen. He usually has a good matchup with him, and I do believe the Bucks are going to come out and play tonight versus Cleveland, because I see a lot of people taking Cleveland tonight as a favorite. I'm going to fall back and just watch the game. Now, I may bet the game live, considering how they come out and play, because Milwaukee, they play good. They play good defense, but Cleveland also plays good at home. This is a great matchup tonight. This could be the Eastern Conference Finals if they match up that way. They are in the same division. Maybe a semifinal. I don't know. But I like both of these teams to have a crash course for the playoffs, and I do believe that Cleveland will give Milwaukee some trouble, but Milwaukee still has to implement Chris Middleton back in the lineup. So once he get more acclimated and get established, we'll see how Milwaukee's looking down the future. But far as the prop, blocks, Brook Lopez over 2.5 blocks. Take it every single game. I'm telling you, it's going to cash 9 out of the 10 times they play. Now, this is the prop that I want y'all to make sure that y'all are aware of. I've been cashing this prop all year. Nicholas Claxton. He's averaging 3 blocks in his last 6 games, but I'm not taking it tonight because he's playing a Western Conference team. But when he plays an Eastern Conference team in his conference, he has 3 blocks every single game. I've been cashing it. It's been an ATM machine, like I mentioned before on other shows and on the streams. This is an auto bet for me. When the Nets play an Eastern Conference team, I'm automatically going to look at Nicholas Claxton blocks over 2.5 because he's been cashing it every single game. So let's jump on Nicholas Claxton when he plays an Eastern Conference team over 2.5 blocks. I'm telling you, it's going to be a moneymaker for you. Now, let's get to some sneaky ones before I go. I've been looking at Bradley Beal. Free throws made and attempts. This man is averaging 7 free throws made on 11 free throw attempts his last 6 games played. Now, I am going to continue to keep riding that because he has some games coming up. Let me find it. Where did I have it? Right here. Okay. He has Utah coming up, I do believe, tomorrow night. And Utah allows the most free throw attempts at home. So look for Bradley Beal to hit his free throw attempts and made prop tomorrow night versus Utah. He also has Phoenix coming up, which he cashed it last night. I was on it. He cashed it. I think he had like 11 free throws like last night. Like, it was crazy. So, and he has Sacramento coming up too. And they also are bottom 5 in allowing free throw attempts and made. So look at Bradley Beal's free throw attempts and made going into the end of this month, looking at the matchups to see how he's going to do. I do believe you can take it because he goes to that free throw line. And if he's averaging 7 free throws made a game in his last 6, I don't see why he's going to fall off. So let's ride Bradley Beal's free throw attempts. And the last one I got for y'all, Michael Beasley. I think that's his name. Michael Beasley or Malik Beasley for Utah. Let me get his name correct before I get off of this because I want to make sure I have it right. Let's go. Malik. Let's see. Because his 3-point prop is money at home. Malik Beasley. 3-point prop at home. He's averaging 4 3-pointers made in his last 6 games at home. So let's get on Malik Beasley. When he's at home, take his 3-point prop. Now, I know y'all have paid attention to Lauri Markkanen. He's been hitting his threes too. But I have to see more of a sample size to see if I can continue to keep riding that one. He hit it last night versus who did they play last night? Who did they play last night? I don't know who they played last night, but he hit it for sure. Who did the Jazz play last night? Detroit on the road. And he had 9 3-pointers made on 13 attempts. So let's check Harry Market a couple of more games to see if he could continue to hit that. Because he's been, you know, he's been hitting it. He had 9, he had 3, 5. So, you know, he's been right there at the 5 and 3 and the 4, but he had 9 last night. He was just hot last night for some reason. But let's see if he can continue to keep the streak up. But I'm putting out Malik Beasley. When Utah is at home, he's averaging 4 free throws made. So take Malik Beasley. So that's all I got for y'all. Just want to do a quick video. I know it's 6 o'clock right now. The game's about to tip off. So whatever y'all can put in right now, put it in. And look at these future bets for the future, man. Matt Stoney, same with Randall and Robinson. I got you. Oh, you know I'm going to talk that. You know I'm going to talk to Matt Stoney. I'm always looking for money, man. And like I say, I love the people that follow me. I like to give y'all some look aheads so y'all can see in the future of who y'all want to see match up and things like that to see if y'all can get some money. Yes, Hayes is a situation bet. You're right. He is a situation bet on. But we'll continue to keep looking at him. But until then, man, I just wanted to give y'all a little quick video to get y'all, you know, get some props going in before Christmas. And like I said, I'm going to do another video after Christmas for the rest of the month. But far as coming up on Sunday, look at those players I just mentioned, and I guarantee that y'all will. I'm not going to guarantee nothing. Let's not guarantee. But for sure, let's just, you know, get this cash. That's all I'm going to say. Just let's cash because I don't want to guarantee nothing. But like I said, I'm going to give y'all the starting lineup. Jordan Poole's points. Mitchell Robinson's rebounds, Killian Hayes assists, Anthony Edwards steals, Nicholas Claxton blocks. That's my starting lineup that I usually bet every single time those guys play because they have been hitting their props. So until then, man, LJ from H-Town, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at LJ Sports Media, and we're going to continue to keep cashing these props. So until then, Rockets tonight versus Orlando. Kevin Porter Jr., 2+ steals. Let's get it, and we out.
All the time we be pubbing on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks, hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and upsea quantities for a fiend, save the dreams for a king. This is H-Town, home of the lean. Astros is the team, and we rock it. We rock Texans for life, you can't stop it. Together like brothers and Benson. Yeah, R-A-W, words being served, no concern and no trouble to get that dough. Money on my mind, if it's money all the time, we be pubbing on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks, hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and upsea quantities for a fiend, save the dreams for a king.